This is a Federalist Moment with Don Weston, brought to you by the Federalist Coalition. Our state representatives are supposed to represent the people of our individual states. That's why they're called state representatives. Well, technically, there are 2 senators who represent an entire state. Then the state is broken down into districts that elect their own specific folks who represent their constituents directly. These 2 types of representatives define our Congress, House and Senate. Who do you suppose these individuals swear their allegiance to? Is it to their constituents who elect them to office? Is it to the political party they use to artificially define their views? Perhaps it's the government they serve or the abstract notion that is the phrase, America. Well, the fact is, our state representatives don't swear allegiance to a whom. They swear allegiance to a what? Specifically, their oath is sworn to the Constitution. You see, Article 6, Clause 3 of the Constitution states, "The senators and representatives before mentioned, and the members of the several state legislatures, and all the executive and judicial officers, both of the United States and of the several states, shall be bound by oath or affirmation to support this Constitution." Now, if that isn't clear enough, let's examine the oath itself. The most current form includes, "I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same." You see, they swear an oath to support and defend what? That's right, the Constitution, followed by an affirmation they will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution. Now, despite the fact that our representatives are supposed to be defending the Constitution in D.C. on our behalf, Congress habitually ignores the Constitution with impunity at every convenience. They get away with it, too, because our citizenry simply doesn't hold them accountable. Now, while it's true most folks don't truly understand how the Constitution works or why it's important, it's also true there are times when our citizenry thinks it needs a law, when in reality, the issue just goes beyond the limits of our government. The No Sanctuary for Criminals Act and the Affordable Care Act serve as prime examples. Both laws attempt to fill a perceived need. One law enforces the constitutionality of federal immigration law, and the other forces a health insurance product on our populace. Both laws are illegal in that they violate various aspects of our Bill of Rights. Remember, our Bill of Rights define our unalienable rights that can neither be given nor taken away without due process of law. Both our state and federal governments are prohibited from creating laws that violate the Constitution, per Article 6, Clause 2. That defines the Constitution as the supreme law of the land, meaning there's no other law greater than the Constitution. We must remember the limits on our government set in place by the Constitution are there for our protection. Without them, our governments could have free rein to do anything they wanted with us. They could silence us, disarm us, lock us up, confiscate our possessions, force us into servitude. I mean, this isn't hyperbole. This is fact. We need our Constitution, and every time we allow governments to violate this supreme law, we allow them to chip away at our protections, and eventually we will be defenseless. We must consider the big picture. Hold your state representatives accountable to the Constitution. We must demand our representatives uphold their oaths. If their oath of office is of no consequence, then neither is the Constitution they are sworn to protect. Now you can discover more truths about federalism at thefederalistcoalition.org.